I think what's becoming the line.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, great. Thank you. How's my tie? Is my tie on?
I think
If anything happens, if my hair is askew.
one of the questions a lot of us have, I think, is what's getting at what's the difference between, for you, comedy and drama. This is your first big dramatic role, serious dramatic role. What's the difference?
Well, I mean, what I found over the course of doing it is it's not wildly different. Comedy stuff, that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I grew up doing. So it was so much fun and became I don't want to say easy, but I was just used to doing it. So it was my comfort zone. To do this was intimidating and scary at first, but then once I got there, Alexander Payne, the director, was so good about just calming me down and getting me out of my head and making me realize that it's all kind of the same thing. It's just different, slightly different speed, but once I realized that it was all just very fun.
What was the best part about the experience?
Oh.
Or some of the
best part, it is, everything was the best part, but it's very rare that you get the opportunity to be in something that from the start that turns out as wonderful as you hope it will be in the beginning. And this was something that just kept getting, it started with this amazing script, and every step of the way it just got better, and that's a rare experience to have, because I've experienced the other way.
When I spoke with Bruce Dern in Chicago, he mentioned that it was wonderful working with you to make him feel younger.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. It was lots of experience. What did you gain from him? Because he's a real talkaholic. I noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Loves telling stories.
He's amazing because he is the exact opposite of the character that he plays in this movie. In real life, Bruce is this vibrant, talkative character, and then to get these wonderful stories, he's just a motor mouth. And I mean that in the best possible way. He was so delightful with all these great stories about Hollywood legends like Alfred Hitchcock and John Wayne, and he would tell them in his impersonations of their voices, which were always oddly spot on, but also sounded exactly like Bruce Dern. So to see him, just flip a switch when the camera's turned on and turn into this man of few words and gruff character of Woody that he plays, it was pretty amazing to watch.
How did you prepare for the role?
How did I prepare? I prepared by overthinking everything, being terrified, really building up a good deal of self-doubt. That was my main preparation. And then once I actually got there, we had a week of rehearsal, which wasn't even rehearsal. All it was Alexander driving Bruce and June and I around to the different locations we would be at, and showing us Nebraska and having us all get to know each other as people. So by the time we actually started, we had formed this bond, and it was much more comfortable to work with these people who were by then friends. Because I mean, a lot of people do, a fear of the unknown, and I will turn the unknowns into these big scary things, and then once I got to know these people, they became wonderful knowns, and it made it just great.
Is this your first time in Charlottesville for the film festival?
Yes, this is only my second time in Virginia. I've been down to Abingdon once years ago, and that was it.
What do you think so far?
Hate it. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Flying in, I flew in at a different time of year the last time I came to Virginia, and just remember how green and beautiful it is, and wow, what a stunning geography it is out here. It's the multicolored trees and changing leaves. It's beautiful, and you don't get that a lot in Los Angeles. So it's really beautiful, and I can't wait to explore it. I'm excited to go to Monticello.
We're going to see
I'm a history major, whatever.
There you go. We're going to see MacGruber tomorrow. Did you have anything to do with the creation of that character? And tell us about making it into a film.
Well, my friend Jorma Tacconi, who's also coming here for the MacGruber screening, he was the one who had the original idea and kept pitching it while we were at Saturday Night Live, trying to get us to turn it into a sketch. And we kept saying, no, that sounds like a really stupid idea. Let's think of something else. And then after probably about a month of continually pitching it, we just to get him to shut up, we said, okay, let's write it up. And then he and I and this guy John Solomon, we all came up with that format of the 3 different sketches, each one ending in an explosion. And it was so much fun to work on that and to turn it into a movie. That is a movie that we are incredibly proud of, and we were obviously disappointed when it I guess you could say bombed at the box office. Really incredibly bombed. Not incredibly bombed. It just bombed.
The politically correct way of saying is it didn't achieve the economic expectations.
Yes, it did not achieve the economic expectations. But at the end of the day, it taught me a lesson that it doesn't matter if all that matters is how you can only control how proud you are of something, and that is something that took away the sting of it. Is just that we got to make the movie that we wanted to make, and we're really proud of it, and we wish more people had seen it.
In terms of different genres, can you tell us something about your experience working in animated comedy like Bob's Burgers and The Cleveland Show?
It is. I am really lucky to have gotten a chance to do a bunch of different things. Animated shows are so much fun to do because you get to go crazy in a way, and it's very easy. You just get in a booth for sometimes for the Cleveland Show I would go in and I'd be in there for 5-10 minutes and then take off, and then it's a fun release, and it's fun to be a part of those things, and then to get to be a part of all these sitcoms that I love so much. 30 Rock was such a wonderful experience, and Saturday Night Live, which was my dream job, that's so much fun. Getting a chance to do different comedy movies, so wonderful. I just had no complaints with all these wonderful experiences, but never expected I would get an experience like this movie, Nebraska. That was just something I would never think I'd get to experience in my lifetime. So it has just been the most unexpected, exciting thing.
Did you have to read for it?
Oh yes, yeah. I put myself on tape. I almost didn't even put myself on tape for it because it just seemed very unrealistic that I would ever have a shot at getting that part. So, but I loved the script. And I loved the character. It seemed familiar to me for some reason, the character of David that I ultimately got to play. So I just thought, what the heck, And so you videotape or whatever it is, digitally record yourself, doing a couple scenes, and I turned it in, thinking, I just turned it in and didn't think about it anymore because, as I said, just there's no way I would get this part. And after 4.5 months, heard from Alexander that he had liked it enough to call me in, which if it had stopped right there, that would be a career highlight to find out something like that to hear this positive feedback from somebody I respect so much. went in then and did the scenes with him in person, and had a nice conversation with him afterwards where he said some nice things, and that, again, if that had stopped right there, it would have been another just major career highlight, and to have gotten the part actually just still blows me away. I still can't believe I got to be in this movie.
This character takes a journey with his father.
I'm sorry?
This character takes a journey with his father.
Yes.
Is that reminiscent of anything in your life, or could you relate to that at all?
Well, there are so many things that I relate to in this movie. The thing that stood out to me the most was this relationship I had with my grandfather. My mother's father, he was a man of few words, and I loved him. He was great. But I knew that relationship. I knew what it was like to be kind of frustrated at times by somebody who didn't communicate as much as you would want them to, and you could still love them with all your heart, but it could be frustrating at times. So that was very familiar. And they're just I think you come out of this movie, even if your family is nothing like the family that you see in this movie. Mine is nothing like it, with the exception of that grandfather-son relationship. There's something familiar about it. There are relationships. It's a very relatable story. So, yes. And I do take road trips with my mom from time to time. But she talks a lot, so it's great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just woke up from a nap, so don't
Hey, you're good.
I'm still a little drowsy.